Imagine machines so powerful they didn't roar with gasoline, but hissed with scalding steam, shooting from massive boilers, hauling tons of weight like it was nothing. Vehicles that looked like something straight out of a Jules Verne novel, yet they were real, roaring down roads and fields, proving that steam once meant brute force, ingenuity, and progress. Ever seen a car that had to be fed wood before you can take it for a drive? Or a tractor that could rival a locomotive? Now get this. There was once a steam-powered vehicle so insane, it looked like a cross between a monster truck and a tank. And yes, it actually hit the road. But what were these machines really like? What kind of engines powered these smoking beasts of steel? And which one was the most mind-blowing of them all? Get ready to take a ride back in time through the most insane steam-powered machines in history. Stick with me till the end, because the number one on this list will leave even the biggest gearheads speechless. Locomobile Runabout. The Locomobile Runabout was introduced in 1899 by the Locomobile Company of America, right at a time when the world was still figuring out what the future of personal transportation would look like. Streets were ruled by horses, but steam was emerging as a serious contender. Its compact two-cylinder steam engine generated just around 3 horsepower. That may sound small today, but back then, it was enough to carry an entire family across cobblestone streets. The system was clever. A small boiler burned kerosene to heat water, creating steam that powered the pistons. The transmission was simple, lever-operated with a single gear. No clutch required like in gasoline cars. Power went to the rear wheels, and the suspension used leaf springs, offering a surprisingly decent ride through early urban streets. Visually, the Locomobile looked like a fancy horseless carriage, crafted with wood finishes and slim wheels. It made a constant hissing sound, and every now and then, a sharp whistle would pierce the air as steam pressure released. The Runabout was mostly used by upper-class families in the early 1900s. With its short range and easy operation, it was perfect for quick city runs. Over time, the Locomobile gained pioneer status. Today, it's a prized collectible and museum piece. Some units even made appearances in international expos, symbolizing the cutting edge of innovation in their era. It's said that President Theodore Roosevelt once saw one in action and remarked, "The future belongs to horseless machines." Thought the Runabout was impressive? Just wait. The next one took steam power straight to the racetrack. Gardner Serpollet steam car. Developed in the early 20th century, the Gardner Serpollet was a collaboration between French engineer Léon Serpollet and British businessman Frank Gardner. The result was a perfect blend of cutting-edge European engineering and the British love for competition. Built in France, the vehicle was one of the first to bring steam power to racing. Its steam engine featured 4 cylinders and a highly advanced coil-type boiler. It delivered roughly 20 horsepower, but what really stood out was the instant torque, one of steam's biggest advantages. Acceleration times were barely recorded back then, but this machine could top out near 62 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, which was borderline terrifying in 1902. The transmission was basic but effective, controlled directly via a steam valve. Suspension used semi-elliptical leaf springs, and traction went to the rear wheels. Its design was bold, polished copper details, exposed piping, visible boiler, and steam exhaust hissing from the side. It looked like a locomotive on wheels. What made the Gardner Serpollet legendary, though, was its role in competitive racing. It didn't just participate, it won, challenging early gasoline-powered cars. In one notable event, it even beat a Peugeot steam-powered rival, shocking the crowd and shaking up the automotive world. More than just a speed experiment, this car redefined how steam could perform at high velocity. It pushed the limits of what engineers thought steam could do. Think steam was slow? Just wait until you meet the next beast on this list. Stanley Steamer. The Stanley Steamer was produced by the Stanley Motor Carriage Company in the United States from 1902 to 1924 and became one of the most famous steam-powered cars in history, known for its elegant looks and impressive performance. Its 2-cylinder engine was mounted at the rear and paired with a vertical fire tube boiler. It delivered anywhere from 10 to 20 horsepower, but thanks to the nature of steam power, it had enough torque to climb steep hills with ease. Some models even reached speeds of 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour. Absolutely insane for that era. There was no traditional gearbox. It used a direct drive system with a steam pressure valve to control power output. Suspension came from leaf springs and power was sent to the rear wheels. Visually, the Stanley was a stunner. Rounded lines, wooden spoked wheels with white rubber tires, brass fittings polished to a shine. It ran quiet too, with only soft hissing and the occasional whistle when steam was released. But make no mistake, it demanded constant attention from the driver, who had to monitor water levels and boiler pressure at all times. The Stanley Steamer was popular both in cities and for short-distance travel. Reliable and fast, it became a favorite among early American drivers. But the most jaw-dropping moment came in 1906, when a specially built Stanley Steamer set the land speed record at 127 miles per hour, 205 kilometers per hour. A steam car, in 1906, faster than anything else on wheels. That record immortalized the Stanley, and even today, it's seen as the pinnacle of steam engineering on four wheels. But hold on, next up is a machine so massive, it was built to pave roads. Literally. Aveling Porter Steamroller. Built in 1867 by the British firm Aveling Porter, this steamroller was designed to replace the old horse-drawn road rollers used in construction. It marked the dawn of the heavy machinery age. The engine was a horizontal single-cylinder steam unit, producing between 10 and 15 horsepower. But what mattered was torque, and it had plenty. This beast moved at a crawl, topping out around 6 miles per hour, 10 kilometers per hour. But it was made to crush, not race. Weighing over 15 tons, it pressed the earth flat under its sheer mass. Power went to the rear wheels via a short-range manual gear system designed for continuous, steady pulling force. Suspension? Almost non-existent. This machine had a rigid frame to keep pressure distributed evenly across the surface. Visually, it was pure industrial muscle. Cast iron body, central boiler, towering chimney up front, and a huge wide roller wheel at the front to compact the ground. The sound was a chorus of metallic clanks, steam bursts, and deep mechanical groans, a mobile factory on wheels. These steamrollers were used extensively throughout Europe and beyond. Slow, yes, but unstoppable. They could work all day with just a modest amount of coal and water. Many have survived the test of time. Today, you can still find fully operational Aveling and Porter rollers at vintage machinery fairs across the UK, lovingly restored by enthusiasts. Believe it or not, some of them were still in use in small towns well into the 1960s. And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see the next machine, a steam-powered tractor that looked more like a land locomotive than a farm tool. Fowler's steam-powered tractor. Around 1870, British manufacturer John Fowler and Company introduced a steam tractor that would become a legend in agricultural engineering. Built for large-scale farms and export to British colonies, this tractor was a rugged powerhouse meant for serious work. Its engine was a twin-cylinder horizontal steam unit, putting out around 40 horsepower, with torque levels that could pull massive plows, harvesters, or logging wagons. It wasn't fast, cruising somewhere between 4 to 7 miles per hour, 6 to 12 kilometers per hour, but that didn't matter. It was a slow-moving force of nature. The manual transmission used heavy-duty gears, and traction came through the rear wheels, huge metal discs with aggressive cleats for digging into the soil. The suspension? Rigid. Everything about this machine screamed stability and raw strength. In terms of looks, it resembled a mini locomotive with a steering wheel. The front-mounted boiler, side-mounted flywheel, and exposed drive components gave it an almost medieval appearance. The sound? A constant rhythmic chuff of steam, pistons hammering away, and the occasional whistle splitting the air. It was used not only for plowing, but also to cower sawmills and threshing equipment via a belt drive. In remote areas where fuel-powered tractors didn't reach yet, these steam giants were the backbone of agricultural production. Today, some original Fowler tractors are still operational and appear regularly at steam fairs and vintage farming expos. Seeing one start up is like watching a dragon awaken, steam hissing, gears grinding, and iron coming to life. If you're enjoying this trip through steam-powered history, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the world's most extreme machines. Ready for the next one? This next steam tractor became a true American icon, taking farming to a whole new level. Case steam tractor. Introduced around 1869 by the legendary J.I. Case Company in the United States, the Case steam tractor is considered one of the most iconic and long-lasting steam engines of the agricultural era. At a time when steam was the only serious alternative to horse-drawn power, Case took things to the extreme. Its engine was a twin-cylinder, horizontal boiler-fed steam unit, powered by wood or coal. Depending on the model and year, output ranged from 60 to 110 horsepower, enough to tow harvesters, plows, or even makeshift rail cars. Speed? Just around 3 to 6 miles per hour, 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. But when you're pulling several tons, speed's not the goal. It was all about muscle. The gearbox was manual, using direct drive gears and short ratios for maximum torque. Rear-wheel drive came through massive cast-iron wheels, fitted with studs for extra grip on soil. Suspension was minimal to non-existent. The frame was designed to handle punishing workloads without flex. Visually, the Case looked like a rolling furnace. A large boiler at the front, fully exposed pistons, and a giant flywheel made of steel. Its sound was unmistakable. Low, powerful blasts of steam, deep metallic clanks, and a whistle that echoed for miles. It was widely used across the American Midwest, especially in states like Iowa and the Dakotas, where vast farmlands required tough, reliable machinery. Case steam tractors revolutionized farm productivity and reshaped rural life. Today, these machines are part of American agricultural heritage. Some have been lovingly restored by third and fourth generation farmers, who proudly display them at antique tractor shows. One Case steam tractor was rebuilt over 3 years by a farmer, just to bring it back to life for a vintage expo, and it ran like it did over a century ago. Thought that was big? Next up, we're traveling back to the 1860s to meet a Canadian inventor who built North America's first steam-powered car. Henry Seth Taylor steam buggy. The year was 1867. While most people still relied on horses, and the railroads were just starting to spread, a bold Canadian inventor decided to put steam power on 4 wheels. His name? Henry Seth Taylor. His creation? The steam buggy. One of the boldest and strangest machines in early automotive history. Built in Canada, the steam buggy is considered the first functioning automobile in North America. Its engine was a simple single-cylinder steam unit, paired with a small boiler mounted under the rear seat. It generated an estimated 4 to 6 horsepower, enough to push the vehicle to speeds near 15 miles per hour, 24 kilometers per hour, a big deal at the time. There was no transmission as we know it today. Power was controlled directly through a steam release valve. Rear-wheel drive came via a basic chain mechanism that connected the engine to the wheels. As for suspension, just basic leaf springs. The wheels were wooden, rimmed with iron, more wagon than car. And visually, it looked like a mix between a park ride and a mini locomotive. Driving it required full concentration. Too much steam pressure, or too little water, and the whole thing could go sideways. Despite its primitive design, the steam buggy was actually used. Seth Taylor drove it in public demonstrations, turning heads and shocking passers-by. Unfortunately, during one such outing, he lost control and crashed into a rock, bringing an end to his steam-powered dreams. Still, the vehicle survived, and today sits proudly in the Canada Science and Technology Museum, a symbol of early innovation. Hard to believe, but this thing hit the road before Ford or Oldsmobile even existed. But hold on tight, the next machine came from one of Europe's largest agricultural manufacturers, and it didn't hold back on power or size. Clayton and Shuttleworth. Clayton and Shuttleworth, a British agricultural equipment manufacturer, began building steam-powered machines in the mid-1800s. Among their most famous models were steam tractors so powerful and complex, they looked like something straight out of a steampunk fantasy. The company's high-end tractors used compound twin-cylinder steam engines, where steam expanded in 2 stages to boost efficiency. Output could exceed 120 horsepower. With so much torque, they could pull an entire train of plows at once. Speeds ranged from 4 to 7 miles per hour, 6 to 12 kilometers per hour. Again, not fast, but raw pulling force was the priority. The drivetrain used direct drive gearing, and traction came through giant rear iron wheels with raised cleats, built to handle deep, muddy fields. The suspension was fixed and rock solid. Visually, these machines were imposing. 2-meter-tall smokestacks, steel-wrapped cylindrical boilers, exposed side-mounted valves, and big flywheels. The sound was intense. Constant pressure release, gear grinding, and loud, proud whistles echoing across open farmland. They were deployed across the British Empire, including India, Australia, and South America, for everything from field work to powering equipment in sawmills or sugar mills. One unit was even used during a heritage event to tow a 15-ton flatbed of timber up a hill, powered by nothing but steam and coal. Ready for more? Next up is an industrial version made to conquer city streets instead of farm fields. Sentinel Steam Wagon DG4. In the 1920s, British company Sentinel, famous for their steam lorries and heavy-duty haulers, released the DG4, a steam truck built to handle urban and industrial transport, where gasoline engines still struggled. It was powered by a vertical 4-cylinder steam engine, producing over 90 horsepower. Its top speed was around 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour. But the real draw was its load capacity. It could haul up to 10 tons with ease. The manual transmission used heavy-duty gears, and it featured rear-wheel drive with reinforced axles built to carry extreme weight. The suspension relied on rugged leaf springs to keep things stable under full load. The DG4 had a distinct look: a compact front cab, the boiler mounted mid-frame, and steel wheels with solid rubber tires. It was loud, heavy, and spewed thick steam jets during operation. These trucks were commonly used in coal mines, ports, and factories across the United Kingdom. With enough water and coal, they could work a full shift without stopping. One DG4 unit even became famous in London for delivering beer between breweries and pubs, announcing its arrival with a classic train-style whistle. You think that's wild? The last machine on our list took things 8 wheels further, and might just be the craziest steam-powered vehicle ever built. Tamar Sentinel DG8. If one steam machine ever deserved to be called a monster, this is it. The Tamar Sentinel DG8 was a custom evolution of the DG4, created in collaboration with Tamar Engineering as a testbed for extreme industrial hauling in remote areas. Under the hood, a massive 8-cylinder, high-pressure steam engine, pumping out a jaw-dropping 180 horsepower. The torque was off the charts. It could launch with over 20 tons of cargo, even going uphill. Its transmission featured multiple reduction gears, and its drivetrain was an 8x8 system, delivering power to all 8 wheels. This kind of full-time steam-powered traction was virtually unheard of at the time. The DG8 suspension used heavy-duty leaf springs, and its segmented chassis was inspired by military vehicle design. Visually, it was unforgettable. Dual smokestacks, an elevated panoramic cab, oversized steel wheels with solid rubber, and side exhausts blasting steam with every move. It looked like a mining truck, and a locomotive had a child. The DG8 was used to transport steel, generators, and heavy equipment across rugged industrial areas in Scotland, where traditional trucks couldn't function. Only a few units were ever built. Today, just one is confirmed to survive, housed in a British museum. Records show that it was last operated in 1972, during a stress test where it dragged the 28-ton generator turbine uphill and nailed it. Over the course of this video, we've traveled through more than a century of steam-powered history, exploring machines that were equal parts innovation, insanity, and mechanical artistry. From elegant runabouts to brutal tractors, road paving rollers to 8x8 hauling beasts, these weren't just machines. They were steam-powered legends, living proof that with fire, water, and steel, we once built vehicles that shaped the modern world. Now it's your turn. Which of these steam monsters would you love to drive? Which one impressed you the most? And if you could bring one back to the streets today, which would it be? Drop your answer down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this journey, smash that like button. It tells YouTube our content's worth sharing with more gearheads like you. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss a single episode. Every week, we dive into the most incredible machines that ever rolled through history. See you in the next video.